I know you all wonder why I keep these things in my house. They make you uncomfortable. Me too. That's why I keep them here. Ivory, stone, wood, bronze. Don't gawk, boy. Get that tray filled. Boy! Did you hear me?
Yes, master.
Don't talk back to me. Replenish the tray. I just ordered a darky out of this room. Do you know anything about him? From his facial characteristics, his people probably came from the Songhai tribe, the area around Timbuktu. 300 years ago, they had a university there, where the most delicate operations were performed for cataracts of the eye. People came from all over the world to have their sight restored by these extraordinary black surgeons. I believe origins can crop up even after 10 generations, unless they're kept weeded out. What do we create? Surgeons? Sculptors? Or niggers?
Hi, my name is Dee Dee. I'm calling from Vallejo, California, and I have a question. I'd like to know why black people are so feared by white people more than Asians and Latinos. Why is it that in employment they'll hire the Asians and Latinos, even in manager positions, over black people? What is it about black people that white people fear so much, even more than the other races?
Excellent question. Number one, the reason white America does not fear other ethnic minority groups is because all other ethnic minority groups can be sent home for behavior that is threatening to the power structure. Chinese can be sent home, Arabs can be sent home, Latinos can be sent home, East Indians can be sent home, Chinese can be sent home. They can be sent home. They are never a threat. You are the only non-white population because you built the country. Slavery is older than the United States. Slavery is older than most of the individual United States. Black people were here before everyone else got here, and the white man destroyed your psychological connection to Africa. You don't have a psychological connection to Africa. He destroyed it, which means he created his own problem. Because had he never destroyed your psychological connection to Africa, he could probably send you home too. But because he did not destroy it, but because he did destroy it, and because you built this country, you are the only non-white group who can simply not be told to go home. You don't have really a home to go to because you're not psychologically connected to Africa. So as a result, if you want to get rid of black folks, you can't send them back home because they have no connection psychologically. So you have to exterminate them where they stand. You have to exterminate them where they stand. You are the only ethnic threat in this country. Everyone else is here. Everyone else here can have their lease terminated. Yours can never be terminated because you've been here before the white man been here. That's the problem. How do you get rid of a people you do not want, who you cannot send home? You can't be sent nowhere. That's why the Chinese can open up businesses. Latinos could open up business. Chinese and Arabs and East Indians could open up businesses. Everybody can come to America and get rich. You know why? Because if push comes to shove, he can send them back home with their money. But if you get rich in America, he can't send you nowhere. He destroyed your psychological connection to your home 400 years ago. You are as American as he is, psychologically speaking. So he can't afford for you to get rich, because for you to get rich means he has to fight you for control of this land. Now, having said that, let me say this. We just spoke about the American white man, but let's talk about the universal white man. Internationally, why do white people hate black folks more than everyone else, even though black people are on the bottom? The answer is real simple. Number one, historical legacy. Historical legacy. The white man knows that you built some of the greatest civilizations on earth. He knows this. And he knows that his Greco-Roman intellectual heritage was birthed from your Nile Valley culture. He knows this. That's why wherever you go in the white world, there's always a pyramid or an obelisk or a sphinx or something that resembles the high culture of Nile Valley, because the white man even recognizes that as the greatest culture of all. That's why his symbols are adorned on his currency. So that's number one, historical legacy. He knows what you did before, you can do again. Number two, your intellectual proficiency. The white man knows that you invented half of everything he uses, and you invented it before he allowed you to go to school with his children. He understands that you came up with the gas mask. He understands that you invented the internet. He understands that you invented the cell phone. He understands that you invented the self-lubricating engine on an automobile. He understands that you invented many of the parts on the train. He knows you've come up with many of the major medications that have been used to save people's lives. He knows you performed the first successful open heart surgery. He knows this. And he's threatened by your intellectual capacity. In fact, one of the reasons integration took place, the primary reason, was to destroy concentrations of black wealth. Under segregation, we had Black Wall Street, concentrated pockets of black wealth. That was a threat to American economic monopoly. So he had to destroy your economic power. That was the primary reason for deseg. The second reason for desegregation was to prevent you from developing a class of black children that would be able to dominate, outthink, out-strategize, outpace white children. Desegregated the schools so he could recruit the black children who could be used to further his own agenda. Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell, Clarence Thomas, Barack Obama. Find their best minds and use them in the service of our people. Don't kill off the best mind. Take over and co-opt the best mind and use it for our best interest. And then is the third reason, third and last, historical legacy, intellectual potential. What you did before, you can do again. And number three, your genetic dominance. You cannot forget that. Your genetic dominance. I don't care whose seed goes into the black woman's womb. And hopefully the only seed is the black seed. But no matter whose seed goes into the black woman's womb, that child will be an African. No matter whose woman the black man plants his seed inside of, whether it's the Arab, the East Indian, the Latinos, the Native Americans, the Chinese, the Korean, the European Jew, that child will be an African. No matter how much money they got, no matter how much military might that they have, they can kill all they want, but they cannot create a genetic dominance out of their species. You, as disorganized as you are, as destroyed and downbeaten as you are, as crazy as you are still genetically superior to all peoples on this planet. And that is why you will always be the most hated of human beings.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Umar, for that. That was heavy. All right, we got another caller here. Thank you, sister, for calling in. We got another caller. Last four digits of your phone is 5769. You are live with Dr. Umar Johnson.
Dr. Umar, very happy to have you here. And well, thank you. Dr. Umar, thank you for coming around and talking to us. I have a quick question. I was kind of concerned about something that you mentioned. Actually, I didn't even realize this. You mentioned that the white citizens can be called upon anytime, basically, to just, I guess, become little cops, in a sense, to help exterminate us. Now, I know, and I pray to God that never happened, but I know what I would do to protect my family. But what are we supposed to do against something like this? I mean, that's really out of line, and that's very shocking. So what should we as people do to be prepared for something like this? Because I believe that's going to happen. That's probably one of the first things on the agenda to happen. So I just want to know, what do you think? I know what I will do for my family personally, but what about other people who may not be prepared?
One of the most popular movies that have come out in the past few years is the movie called The Purge. And Purge 3, it's on its way. And one thing we know about Hollywood is that Hollywood often dramatizes social events to come. Hurricane Katrina was played out in Hollywood before it ever happened. The AIDS virus was dramatized in Hollywood before it ever happened. So much was dramatized in Hollywood before it ever happened, including the fall of the Twin Towers. The purge is coming. In many respects, the purge has already begun. It's been initiated by the police. The only thing that has not happened yet, which in order to be consistent with the movie, is that the citizenship, the everyday poor white man, poor white woman of America has not yet killed black people. Once that happens, the purge will come. And the best thing you can do is be prepared. You are a minority within a majority, and we're going to have to go down fighting. We're absolutely going to have to go down fighting. The sad part about the black reality, the sad part about the black reality in the world, not just here. I'm a Pan-Africanist, so I speak globally. We don't have a standing army on the face of this earth that could last a day with the European army. That is our most disastrous military reality. Even if an African country wanted to come to save us when the purge begins, they couldn't. There's not a black army in Africa, the Caribbean, Central and South America that could last a day with the military force of America or Britain. That's the sad part. Marcus Garvey used to always say, be prepared. Prepared. George Washington, the first president of this country, commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, a white supremacist hater who used to get the teeth of his slaves pulled out and put in his mouth whenever his teeth would fall out, and was a rapist of many black women as well. But he said, nothing will ever give your enemy so much pause as to know that you are prepared to meet him. We have to be prepared to defend our women and our children or go down fighting. It's coming. I'm telling you, it is coming. The white man smells blood, and it's only going to get worse. What you're seeing with the police is nothing. I fear that worse is on its way. I fear that worse is on its way. But black people are so in love with white people that they don't even see it coming. Their love is blinding them to their reality, and Obama didn't help us. All Obama did was Negroes. Internationally, because remember, Obama was an international phenomenon. You had Africans in Africa talking about how great he would be and how God was sending Obama. And in Europe, the same thing. Remember, I travel the world, so I know how ridiculously insane Negroes have become with this whole Obamaism religion. All Obama did was distract. Look at this now. For 8 years, he distracted African people globally. This was planetary wide. He distracted you for 8 years, long enough for white supremacy to reorganize, refuel, refocus, re-strategize, and reinitiate its killing machine. It is no coincidence that the killing began Obama's second term, because during his first term, the average Negro everywhere in the world was punch drunk with Obama juice, couldn't think, and now the white man is ready to unleash his weapon.